Welcome to the Wimlex Show. This is Alex, and our first podcast guest is Ben Woldring. For our German listeners, Ben is the Tarek Miller of the Netherlands. At the age of 13, he founded his first online startup, a price comparison page for mobile services. Today, his company Bencom Group compares nearly everything from insurance to energy or travel. He owns the biggest metasearch engine in the Netherlands that is also active on many other European countries. And in Germany, some of our listeners might know him from the brand Wechseljetzt.de. He started with 13 years or so, and since 20 years he's owning his business, and he's growing his business, and in a way that is very impressive. And Willem and I have very, very specific e-commerce and data questions for him, and I'm pretty sure you will be surprised what Ben is telling us regards the future of price comparison websites. Ben Woldring, welcome to the first real episode of the Wimlex Show, hosted by Willem and Alex here at the DEP offices in Amsterdam.
Thank you very much, and I have to say I really like the name, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. As a Dutch guest, you understand the name, at least. We sometimes have to explain it to our German listeners. But maybe the German listeners don't know the name and the brand Ben Woldring so good. Can you give us a little background of who you are and what you're doing for life?
Sure. At the age of 13, in 1998, I founded the first company called Bellen.com. It's the first price comparison website for mobile phones in the Netherlands.
1998 was it?
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I did do some sanity checks. So yeah, 1998 was what it was. The time without Google then.
It was the time without Google. So if you look to our client number in Google AdWords, then you will be amazed.
What
is it? What's your
100?
Yeah.
No, we're kidding. But we were one of the first advertisers in Google AdWords. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you negotiated a good deal back at the time.
Back at the time, yes.
Yeah.
So now the Bencom Group consists of 10 price comparison websites in the Netherlands and Germany. We have 3 offices and work with 50 people.
And for the German listeners, usually know Check24 in Germany. Is it something you can compare to the Check24 business model, more or less?
Exactly. We are in Holland the market leader in price comparison for several markets we are active in. In Germany, Check24 is the market leader, and we are one of the runner-ups in the German market with Wechseljetzt.de, wir vergleichen und Sie sparen.
I heard the pitch a lot in the German radio. Maybe can you give a little bit background about the business? I think it's a little bit different in the Netherlands compared to Germany, though the Germans, from what I know, don't tend to change their energy contract frequently. Is it different here in the Netherlands?
Yeah, when I founded the business in 1998, there was a trend that people wanted to switch their mobile phone provider because for the first time there was competition of providers and several new market entrants, and they all were offering better deals for more value for money. When we launched Gaslight.com, the first energy comparison website for finding the best energy deal, we faced that there was some there were some more issues that consumers were facing to switch provider. Like, will I be disconnected from the network when I switch? Will I get troubles with my invoices? Things like this. And what we saw the first 5 years, it was really hard to get this business up and running. Luckily, we had this telecom comparison business, so we could stay ahead of competition. That was only focusing on the energy market. And we had the vision, once this market will be like the telecom market, that people will search for the best deal, switch regularly, switch to green energy providers, and make use of the new promotions and the new deals that are introduced by the new market players. But it took some years. I could say since 2008, the market is getting more mature and more like the telecom market. And then in 2012, we entered the German market with wechseljets.de. And what we see as a big difference between the German market and the Dutch market is that saving opportunities in Germany are much, much higher than in Holland.
Oh, yeah?
You might be surprised hearing
Should
this.
I go then to wechseljets.de to find out if I have a saving opportunity?
Absolutely. What we see in the German market is that people have two contracts, one for their electricity and one for their gas, if they have gas. In Holland, it's quite normal to have one contract, one energy deal for both. And where saving opportunities in Holland are like 200 to 300 euro, you will see and find out on wechseljets.de that you can save this amount or more just on one product. And then you have this heating or gas product you also need, and you can save another time the 200 to 300 euro. So that's a big difference. Also, the number of market players is different. In Holland, we have about 50 providers, so 50 in Germany.
For energy and gas.
For energy and gas. In Germany, it's up to 1,000 providers with all the local stadwerken. You know them.
Yeah, I know them. I'm just thinking as you're saying it, where I'm a customer I think at Landenergie, because I'm owning a farm, and there's like a special local provider, of course, for farm owners, with special contract. But still, I will look up my contract on Wechsel.
Do you have a windmill and some solar panels as well?
I don't know how the energy is created.
Okay.
There, it's I'm not sure if I even compared energy pricing, but my father-in-law made me believe that the contract is very good, and I should take it because he negotiated it. But I think it's a very rare situation, and very, very rare to find in Europe an entrepreneur who actually founded a business like 20 years ago is still active as an entrepreneur and
in the same business.
In the same business.
That's rare.
Not selling it. Is that the standard use case here in the Netherlands?
It's not the standard use case, but I don't want to be standard. If you look to the Bencom Group, we call it the Bencom Group, since the business consists of several companies focusing on a variety of markets, like where it all started with the telecom market. We later jumped into the energy price comparison. Later on the insurance business. We created another company focusing on this insurance business, like health insurance, car insurance, and we are now expanding. And Looking for Booking was created as a metasearch platform for all the hotel price comparisons.
Is this comparable to Trivago or something?
Yeah, Trivago is one of the big players in this market as well.
Did you see space there? Because for me, Trivago is a very strong player. TripAdvisor is now metasearch as well.
Yeah.
What makes you differentiate compared to those players?
It was a very good question. When we started with Looking for Booking, it was at the same time Kayak and Trivago were launching, and Trivago got recently acquired by Expedia. So this is making us unique again as independent player. But moreover, we faced that there was a huge growth potential in the B2B market.
Okay.
So what we launched is Looking for Booking Corporate Travel, where we help corporates save money on their administration with all their hotel invoices of their employees. So imagine a company with 1,000 employees. They are going from congress and from client to client all over the world and staying in hotels, and each employee gets its own invoice. This invoice is being sent to the office with all the compliancy checks and balances. This one single hotel stay of let's say €100 will cost a company at the end €150 due to all the internal processing and accounting, etc.
So your competitive edge now is convenience and efficiency for companies.
Exactly, and that's combined with finding the best deals.
Yeah.
So we combine efficiency with booking the hotel stay at the best booking outlet possible. So it could be Expedia, it could be Booking.com, it could be directly at the hotel brand itself.
So you're a pure metasearch player in a way that you're managing the booking as well. The booking goes through your books, or is it done on the Booking.com site? Are you an affiliate?
For these corporate clients, it goes through our books.
Okay.
And they face a huge saving on administrative cost, a huge saving on finding the best deal for all their employees which are staying who are staying in hotels. Yeah. And last but not least, they can focus on the core business. Well, knowing that our technology and our team on the background is focusing on this corporate travel service.
And I'm a data guy, and knowing the way affiliate marketing works, probably Booking.com has another pricing scheme with you compared to Expedia or hotels or Agoda. Yeah. How do your clients know that you're fully transparent in offering them the best deal that is also the best deal that's their best deal and not your best deal?
Yeah. And I'd like to add one question to that. I don't know what this dark marketing patterns. I think it's a name where Booking.com is leading. When you're getting to a website and seeing a hotel, you're seeing like 25 people booked this hotel at this rate in the last 45 hours, and now look, there's like 5 other people now joining this offer. Book now. It's probably
the last room.
It's a last room available. So maybe when you're answering the question of Willem, can you elaborate on this a little bit? Yeah. On these more modern marketing patterns.
Yeah. To kick off with the last question, we don't influence our visitors. Okay. With these, like so many people are looking at this hotel at the moment. It's the last room available, so be quick and so on. So we created like a neutral environment. But of course, it has advantages to influence like this in speeding up the booking process and so on. But the business clients don't like these kind of stress to hurry with their booking. To come back to the point of the different price and how we are transparent in this, since we have this technology on the consumer website for comparing all the market players for a single hotel night. We capture this snapshot and provide it with the booking to the business consumer, so that they can always track and trace back that this deal was the best deal at any given time. Okay,
and that algorithm doesn't take into considerations the margins you make on that booking?
No, it's
fully transparent.
Fully transparent to the end consumer.
So your customers really know that they booked for the lowest price.
Yeah, possible. Like if they went on a search themselves, looking at 10 or 20 different booking platforms to find the best deal. But of course, this will cost a lot of time, and no corporate has a focus on this.
Yep.
So that's the looking for booking business.
And is looking for booking also available in German market?
Yeah, we offer worldwide hotel bookings, so more than 400,000.
I'm not only inclined to go to Wechsel Jetzt after our podcast, but also tell our back office staff that they should have a look into looking for booking for better
travel,
corporate deals. Okay, that's cool. So maybe we can go back in time a little bit to give some light on how we got to know each other. I think that's 10 years ago. You have been speaker at an entrepreneurs event from the ICE Society, a network we are both members in. I was still corporate employed there. I think it was my second year at the Otto Group, and you've spoken as a super young entrepreneur and already then like a 10 years entrepreneur about how to create an kind of an affiliate business. I would sum it up, and
it was on a sailing boat on the ice.
It was on a sailing boat on the ice, and actually, you influenced me a lot to become an entrepreneur myself. So you might don't know that, but it was really cool, and I really remember almost every word from your speech. So it might be dangerous today for you here when we look back, but in 2008, performance marketing on Google, I think, was on its peak. So there was lots of more or less black hat, grey hat strategies in search engine marketing, paid and organic search engine marketing. And back at the days, I can think about how you could create traffic for all of these websites and how the business case works. Can you explain a little bit how this changed over time? So where the traffic is coming from and how the system is working in terms of customer acquisition?
Yeah, we have the big advantage of be a first mover. Like the first domain goes back to 1998, so has a lot of domain authority.
This was Bencom?
Yeah, Bellen.com and Gaslight.com 2003. So this helps a lot in terms of organic. Moreover, we generate a lot of free publicity with articles about the energy market, the telecom market. When like an acquisition is happening or a merge of two energy providers in the Netherlands, journalists will ask like our opinion on this merge and acquisition, like what kind of impact this will have for the consumer when it's the 1st of January. And the energy prices are changing, or the health insurance prices are changing to the new year price scheme. We will give our opinions in the media. So this publicity is really good for the brand and for all the direct traffic. So if you sum it up, you can say that direct traffic is highly important for the success of our
and further on in the journey, when consumers are comparing different energy sites, how does your acquisition strategy then work if you are looking at PPC, for example, or social advertising?
Yeah. Over the years, you can say that the SEA advertising model is getting more and more expensive over the years. And if you indeed look back to 2008, and now you wish you had the CPCs of 2008 right now. But
can you have your indication how much more expensive it has gotten over the years if you compare it today, like let's say. I don't know what the Dutch keyword is you would search for, but gasvergleich is probably like some important keyword here even in the Netherlands. And if this was like €1 PPC, average PPC in 2008, what it would have been like today?
Yeah, more like 4, 5, 6 euros per click, even higher on some words. And if you go back to 2003 or 2000, when did we start with AdWords? Maybe it was even when it was introduced.
I think 2004 they launched.
I introduced it.
So we were directly there when it was introduced, and then it was only on the right side of the page. You remember those small AdWords on the right? It was yellow, I remember. Like a different
big ads by Google on top.
Yeah, it's probably like the same time it is today in Amazon, for Amazon ads. So even like big advertisers for factory, they don't know how to spend the money because traffic is so cheap. There's not enough advertising inventory they can use.
Exactly.
So that must be like very similar to the good PPC times.
Yeah, absolutely. But we won't call it bad at the moment. It's more like you need to be more creative, more into the data and combine all the different sources and have a bid strategy that it's really working at the end of the day. And if it's not working at the end of the day, you need to change and optimize immediately.
Exactly.
But we have a great team working on this. But looking back, indeed, 10 years ago, 2008, and then back to the beginning, it's almost comparable to the Google stock price. How the CPCs have been increased over time.
And you mentioned that now creativity and data is becoming more important, and I completely agree. Could you elaborate a bit more on your data strategy? How, for example, are you measuring people orienting on a mobile phone and then making a transaction on a desktop?
Yeah.
Do people with iPhone devices getting higher prices?
No, like on looking for booking, for example, with the hotel comparison, we don't make our own pricing. So I can simply answer this question with no, there's no difference in device type. In the other price comparison markets, it's in fact the same situation.
Okay.
That it's the energy provider or the telco defining the right sweet spot for their proposition to rank their product. And what we see is that it has a huge impact on which place you are listed as a provider. So if you are the number one, having the number one position in the price comparison ranking, but you have a really bad customer satisfaction rate, and on position 2 or 3 you will see a big name with a higher ranked customer review score. Then you really need to be super cheap at number 1 if you want still to attract the consumers. And these kind of insights are really useful, and also useful to for example the health insurance market. What we see at the end of the year, the last 6 weeks of the year, you can change in Holland your health insurance provider, and there are some really cheap options available, insurance options available, but it limits you tremendously on the freedom in hospitals to use.
Yeah.
So imagine normally you can go to every hospital in the country.
The cheapest rate gives only freedom to go to the vet.
To the like, let's say 10 hospitals in the country. Of course, when there's an emergency, you have access to all the hospitals, but a lot of
but you have to pay for your luggage.
But a lot of healthcare is based on
in-app purchases.
A lot of healthcare is organized by directions from your local doctor.
But
and for example, these kind of listings are not in favor of our consumers comparing the market. At least they want to see with big alarm signs that they will be hugely limited in their freedom when they choose this number one listing. And in markets like this, we introduce extra filters. And where do you need to think about with such a filter like I want a minimum freedom of hospital search of 65%. And we choose to put this number at 65%. And when the market is changing, also during the season, we can, based on data, set this percentage to 75% or increase it to 90%, depending on what we see in users of the platform and what's in favor of the consumer comparing. We want to help consumers save money by giving them transparent and independent comparisons based on all the reliable data that is available. And if parties are trying to compete in these listings with I remember the introduction of wechseljet's.de in Germany, that were available pakketprijzen for stroom, like 3,500 kilowatt hour for a fixed price.
Yeah.
A fixed price per year. And we were not known to this situation in Holland. So call us stupid, or I don't know, but it was completely new to see this phenomenon in the energy market. But when we looked and deep dive further into this, it was crazy. There was an out of the bundle price like hell. So if you were using more electricity in a year than this 3,500 kilowatt hour, then you paid like 3 times more than the standard rate for your extra usage. Wow. And guess what? If you were using less than the 3,500, your electricity was gone. You got the invoice for the 3,500 and you could not store the energy for next year or use it next year, etc. So these kind of propositions, it's what we call like window dressing. It's like a product optimized for the listing, but not in the benefit of the end consumer. And
your consumers who visited wechseljet's.de, they were aware of those misfits.
Yeah, I remember when we introduced wechseljet's, and you might remember this, Alex, that in our radio commercials we had a spot like Noor serieuze aanbieder. And we pre-filled the filtering selectors on show me the results without pakketprijzen. And only when you as a consumer were aware of pakketprijzen and you would have deselect this option, then you would see these kind of window dressing products. But they were not in favor of the end consumer, since there's no consumer exactly using 3,500 kilowatt a year. And this is the standard average usage of a consumer. So a price comparison website normally opens on this amount of this full volume. But by introducing this filter and by having our radio spots focusing on this element, we attracted the attention of the German listeners. And later on, I think one of the consumer authorities in Germany fighted against these propositions of the pakketprijzen. And I think nowadays it's not available anymore on the German market. But what's nice to see is that if you look to the business from a consumer perspective, and you put the consumer on number one at your platform, then you don't even want to connect your visitors with products like this.
I can totally relate to this. So I do the same when I'm booking rental cars for vacations. There's like a platform in Germany called billigermietwagen.de, like cheaprentalcars.com or something like that. And in like in a vacational situation, different to like business related rental car contracts, you have the same. Usually you want to avoid providers that rip you off on the gas refilling and on extra insurances and extra mileage. So there's like, and there's like, they have like the main, their filtering is a little bit different. So if you choose, do you want to go have like a rental car on the airport of Palma de Mallorca, then like their first offer is like, it's only, they only show like a prime offer, like where all these ratings, like, refill policy, insurance policy is like 100% in favor of the customer. And usually these offers are like twice the price compared to the cheapest offer.
Yeah, but in the end, better.
But they show you, of course, so here like red flag, mileage policy, red flag, refill policy, red flag, and of course, the ratings of the customers are our main ingredient. I can relate to that, but I can understand it in like, on the rental car, situation, but, you told us that direct traffic is important for your price comparison website. So there must be decent brands, so people will remember. That's usually like the first question in e-commerce. So, but how loyal are they though? Aren't there so many price comparison websites? Or is it really the case? So usually on the contractual side, people won't change contracts more than once a year, and probably people even don't change once a year, so they change, I don't know, every fourth year or fifth year. So, and all the e-commerce websites I know, which are selling products with such a low frequency, for example, if you're selling tires and wheels, usually you need this like every 8 years for your cars or every 6 years. They have a very, very hard time to get customers back, though they need to reinvest in branding and marketing to get the customers back, and that tends to be very expensive. So how do you manage that? So how do you create in such a loose business a loyal customer base that is coming back to you, to Bellen.com?
We introduced, like, I think in 1999 already, the contract reminder service. And this contract reminder service reminds a customer for their end date of their contract. And back then...
How nice of you. What a nice service.
Yeah, but it will get even nicer, the story, because we introduced this service, which was kind of... handy for the average consumer to make use of, I would say. And I was like 14 years old, just going to my high school on a bike, introduced the service, outsourced it to an external company to develop it, and we generated some publicity. And I was really happy that morning when I left home, because the publicity was going well, and on the first day we introduced the service in 1999, there were like 1,000 people subscribing for this service to get reminded of their contract end date. But when I came
through
back,
which channel? Email, or was it
through
still
email?
through
Yeah,
post?
It was email. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was all automated, so you will get at the end, when the contract was reaching their end date, you would get an email with a Word attachment completely containing all the details to cancel your contract. The only thing you needed to do back then was print this out, fill in put there your signature, and send it to the provider. We're speaking about like 20 years ago.
Well,
Then what happened? I came back from school
In Uskert.
And I think I remember I searched when you search on video search on Google, you see some of the interviews when you're like giving those interviews when you have been like 13 years old, 14 years old. So that was kind of how you created the publicity, like a very young founder, blah blah blah, and then and then you came back.
I came back and my email box exploded. My email box exploded, really. And not full of compliments. No, it was full of complaints.
Really?
Full of complaints. And imagine that till that moment you only got nice feedback like, I owe you a nice drink because due to your comparison websites I saved like 200, 300 guilders back then. And then there were only complaints. What happened? That morning, just after I left home to go to school, the system was looking like who should get today a contract reminder. And out of these 1,000 people that subscribed on the first day after this publicity, there were like 100 who wanted to get a reminder one day later. So for me, it was totally clear that this group should not make use of this service, but should visit a doctor better in place. But anyhow, these 100 people were being emailed that morning with their attachment with the cancellation letter. But there was only one single small mistake in the software. The first consumer got their own cancellation letter. The second one got their own letter, including the first one. Oh, no. And number 100 in a row got all the 100 cancellation letters. And it contained all the data
of those previous customers.
Exactly.
Wow.
And when you have a sample group of 100 people, there are always some people that start to complain like, I cannot sleep anymore. I want compensation. By the way, I called myself sick today. So, I'm in huge problem. I have a huge problem now. And, actually it's not my problem. It's your problem. And, please compensate me. Another one in this sample group of 100 is, all of a sudden a lawyer. And making these discussions, bringing them to a more formal level. And then you always have the people who think like I should put the pressure on by saying I will call the media that this happened. So all this nice publicity of yesterday will be completely disrupted by negative publicity tomorrow. And I remember I was giving a presentation that day for a group of entrepreneurs. And one of the people listening there to my presentation was also a lawyer. And I shared this story, not knowing where it would end. And he came after my presentation to me with a perfect advice. He said, Ben, did you already change the system that it won't happen tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock again? I said, yeah, of course. That was the first thing to do to get it fixed by this external software company, that it won't happen again tomorrow morning with the next round of with the next run. Then he asked, did you send an excuse email to those 100 people involved already? I said, yes, we sent an excuse email. So perfect. Then you're fine. You did what you needed to do. Now just wait, because this is a pressure cooker. It's heated like hell. Don't put any oil on this fire anymore. Just stay calm and surprise this group with a nice gift in, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks. And I thought, like, why? He said, like, yeah, then the group is calm again. And after this 3 to 4 weeks, when you surprise them with a nice gift, they will counter-react. Like, you will be surprised. So I loved this advice. I loved it.
So what kind of gift did you give them?
We executed like this, and since we had all the addresses of these people, we thought like, how nice would it be in this time of email to send them a postcard together with a VVV-bon, like a VVV check. It's a check you can use for all kind of stores of 100 guilders at the time.
Serious money.
So 50 euro. And it was serious money, but like all the complaints were faded out, and everyone was sending like, what a surprise, I would not have expected this, and this was not necessary at all, and thank you very much, and we'll promote your service like hell, and
really?
things like this. Yeah,
so you got a lot of free publicity.
A lot of fans in the end. And this was like, for us, in like 3 lessons. In a panic, stay calm. Second, when a new service is introduced, test it like hell. Test it. Do all the stupid tests like I want to be reminded next day. Well, the service is intended to remind after a year and so on. In the end, it was a stupid comma separation error in the software. So just a human error, and that could happen tomorrow again.
Exactly.
And, automate testing and so on. And third lesson: surprise your customers, so that even a customer that is complaining will be an ambassador in the future.
Amazing.
Okay, that was 1999, so you have been like 14 years old. And it was like only 100 customers. Today, if it happens like to 10% of your customer base, probably like the reactions would be very different. You said those customers, or you created loyal customers, and with your reminding service, you are able, though that is like, you've been introducing like a CRM system in 1999, something lots of big websites and especially e-commerce websites haven't been able to introduce because they don't know about a good reminder service. And if there's like a business selling socks, then the only idea they're coming up with is, okay, how long will the customer wear the socks? And let's send them an email like 8 weeks afterwards, which is not really customer focused idea. And it's usually the third question would be, how profitable is your business? But as you don't have any investment cost in the contract itself, it's probably based on the premiums. So the much more interesting question here for me is, the latest service you introduced was looking for booking, right?
No, the latest service is the Bencom app.
The Bencom app.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, how do you attract new customers for such a service today? So do you create only services where you can use your existing customer group and based on that are growing, or would you trust yourself in building, I don't know, what you can compare car price comparison service on a new brand? Yeah.
With the Bencom app, we focus on, in short, this reminder service in an app where you can store all kind of contracts. So your insurance contracts, your mobile phone contract, your energy contract, name it. You can, every contract that has an end date, you can store in this app. And you will get smart reminders when your attention is needed, like a contract renewal or the contract end date is reaching. And then this app will forward you the best deals or forward you to the price comparison platforms to if you want to do it yourself. The service can be pushed via our own brand. So on each comparison platform, you will find the promotion of the Bencom app. But moreover, when people switch provider, it's a nice opportunity to say, if you download the app now, we put already the contract you just signed up for in the app. So you have already a good start with the first contract in there. And even if you keep it like that, only for this one single contract, you will get a nice reminder on your mobile phone. And next year you will get the best deal, just in front of your face. This app is recently launched and now only pushed via our own channels. But once we get more insights and more optimizations of the app, we can push it more in our marketing channels like television, radio, app store promotion, and so on.
And what we see happening a lot with apps that are being developed is that first, obviously, getting the app installed is a very big item.
Yeah.
And you have an installed base already with your existing website. So probably app installments can be arranged through your current audience. App usage, though, is difficult for most app makers. And we see that there are loads of apps in the app markets that aren't being used that frequently. Yeah. For you, obviously, only if there's one energy contract in the app, it's already relevant because for that contract I get reminders. Yeah. How do you cater your clients to use the app in a broader way also for their mobile contract or their health or insurance contract?
Yeah, so we looked at this app from a perspective like, okay, the Bencom Group is covering several markets, but not yet the car rental business, for example. So should we limit this app to the Bencom Group services, or should we look to this app from a consumer perspective? And
of course you've chosen the Bencom perspective.
Of course. No. So in the app you can even store your lease contract or your rental car agreement or your Netflix subscription, name it. Yep. Just to make the chance higher that you will use this app. I would not say on a daily basis, but like that there's a bigger chance during the year to get reminded of the service.
So this could be market research as well. If you see that there are certain contracts that are being uploaded
to jump into this market,
And do you already have you already explored a new market thanks to the app?
We got feedback. We have an open discussion platform where ideas could be added by our users, app users, and one of the feedback we got was, can we add the local community cost of the local government? Dus in Dutch de waterschapsgelden.
Yes. They differ quite a lot between communities in Holland.
Exactly. This I would say is not the first market we would like to jump in to compare, since universities are comparing these kind of differences per local government already. In the end it makes no sense to compare, since the only way to save money on this is to actually move your house from one area to another area where you pay less. So we really want to focus with Bencom on markets where the consumer has a freedom of choice. A liberalized market. And
what is the main USP of the app? So I understand. If I understand it correctly, it's like a collection of my contracts, which I could put in, and I can be reminded of my Sky or Netflix contract that it's going to be renewed in November, and I have like a alarm now. Now you can decide, do you really want to use Netflix in 2019 or not? Is that correct?
Correct. Or if you signed up for a service and you get a nice cashback at the end of the year, then it's always nice to open this app and see, yes, at the end of the year I get this €200 cashback. And normally it's done all automatically. You get this cashback automatically on your bank account. But for a lot of people it's nice to see it's almost November. I'm almost there to get this cashback, and let me buy a new iPad or a new gadget, or go on holidays or whatever.
And does the app also enable m-commerce? So are people able to connect to Bella.com or other of your comparison sites?
Yeah, we are working now on integrations with several platforms, but right now it's more a promotion on the current platforms to download the app. But we are working on integrating the platforms also in the app so that you can do the comparison in app. And then you have kind of one brand for the whole group.
I've one very important question for you as a provider of intermediary services, which is like giving us a lot of headaches in all the other CustomZone.de podcasts when it comes to the discussion of platform economy effects. And what we're seeing with Amazon, and especially Google started it, that they want to be like the owner of the customer access. They want to own every kind of intermediary service, which includes actually your services. We see that especially in the US, where they are able to carve out all other comparison services, where they say, okay, if there's like one company who was capable of structuring the data in a specific market, here it's like the gas and energy market or telecom market, then we only need to put in a similar comparison engine like Google Flight Search, for example, because the customers tend to start its search even for gas and light comparison, gas and energy comparison on Google, so we can do it ourselves. How do you look on this challenge?
Yeah, actually, what we saw over the years is that only Google Flights was kind of successful. If we look to other markets like the insurance market, where Google jumped into in the United Kingdom due to an acquisition, it was way less successful. They even quit this business after several years. And
what was it, domain then? Like something like insurance.google.co.uk or something?
No, I think it was Google co.uk / insurance or insurance comparison. But they quit this market. Also, one of the big retailers jumped into this business and quit after a while, since they see it's kind of a specialized business. It's a platform business, but also a business where you need to know the market insights really well to perform. And for us, it's a combination of like customer service, market insights, the right approach to the consumer in terms of how the listing looks like. And then a flight is much more simple to compare, like hotels, than a complex product like insurance, telco, energy, and so on. So, in fact, when investors approach us, which happens like all the time, they normally say, we love this online price comparison market so much, since the big giants did not succeed in jumping into this business with success.
So you're raising a very interesting topic, investors. So money seems to be free these times. Interest rates are low, and your multiples must be very high. And you, from what I see, you can like get some money for your business, hire another 100 engineers, and push for those price comparison services more like in the Eastern European market or wherever you're not have a big stake. Isn't that an interesting choice for you?
Yeah, right now the Bencom Group is 100% privately owned, and investors are knocking on the door already since 1999, so 1 year after founding. It might be a strategic direction. However, the market we are currently in the Netherlands and Germany is highly on the front runners side. So yeah, indeed, there are opportunities in Eastern Europe, in other parts of the world where internet and the market liberalization of these sectors we are in is not yet at the point we are in here in the Netherlands and Germany. Yeah, the future we'll see.
Interesting. But you have been like 20 years in the business already, so you have every right to take a pivot as you like. So maybe as we are coming like to the end of the podcast, what are you looking into 2018 or 2019? What are the next big thing you're looking at? Maybe a car rental comparison site. That's something which came up recently.
Sure, and maybe you heard about the blockchain hackathon in Groningen that takes place every year in April.
Your team actually won.
Exactly. Yeah.
Congrats.
On the energy transition track, and we are experimenting with blockchain, and
so there is eventually like a use case for blockchain here?
There is. It's good to be in this field, and especially in the energy market, where a lot of energy is produced and being traded in the market, and the people want to have trust in like this green energy. How green is this green energy, and is it sold multiple times or is it sold only once? Their blockchain could be really interesting. The solution we won the prize with on this blockchain hackathon in Groningen is making use of kind of a pizza tracker for your contract. So you are always aware of the status of your contract when you are in a switch process. So imagine you switch provider, telco or energy. Your switch goes through several systems, several data points, several databases, single silos we would call it. And as a consumer, you want to have this experience of a pizza delivery service that you exactly know where your pizza is, and you can almost walk to your door to open it, and the delivery guy or girl is standing in front of you. And in the end, you want to reach such service experience also in the transition of an energy provider or an insurance provider or a telco. Also when you move telephone number and so on. So since we have a lot of silos and silo databases in this field, with a lot of providers that are not willing to share the data to another party in the chain. Here also blockchain and the solution we found it could step in, since no one is in charge of the data and owning the data, and everyone has a single view on a single data point, and that could be a step forward for the Bencom Group in the upcoming years, but we have to see where this will end.
Very cool. So I think the entrepreneurial story won't end here. So and I'm pretty sure that's going to be like a podcast number 2 on the Wimlex show with you. I have a couple of questions
marked
still open, which we need to follow. Follow up. It sounds unbelievable, successful, and sustainable. So it's something you don't hear regularly from e-commerce, and especially not from intermediary business like comparison websites. But it seems to be like a special setup here in the Netherlands. So many thanks, Ben, and I'm probably speaking for Willem.
Definitely. Thanks so much, Ben. This was a very inspiring talk on your entrepreneurial career, and also on your the markets that you're active in. And what I really take home is the way you've organized your business in a way that benefits consumers. So thank you on behalf of all of us.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for this opportunity.
Yeah. Imagine what you could do if you focused your business value on Bencom. So that's what, like, if you take an investors, that question you would have to answer. So, but thank you a lot. So, and we are really, really happy to have you as our first real Wimlex guest.
Cool, and good luck with the podcast continuation, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.